Welcome back. I am your host, Michelle Aventajado, and we're here in Kitchen 143 to discuss all of the fun things we can do to make healthier choices for ourselves and for our family. I'm pretty excited for today's episode. This is like a continuation of last week's episode where we talked about the decisions that we can make to just be healthier for ourselves. And now we're taking that one step further in how we can choose and make healthier decisions for our family as well. Okay, so we're going to look at how we can become healthier in mind, body, and spirit. Okay, we won't just be eating, we're also going to be learning how to defend ourselves too. Today, some of my best buddies will be talking about our relationships both with food, exercise, sleep, and we even have a doctor who's going to give us tips and tricks for those of us who have growing families, how we can instill a lifelong wellness and well-being in our children, even as they grow older. So, okay, find a comfy spot, sit back, relax, and let's, I will welcome our guests, but let me tell you about them first. Joining me today are Dr. Lazaro, who's an accomplished pediatrician, lifelong Jiujitsu practitioner TJ Sulit of Origins Jiujitsu, director at Asia Group Advisors, and author of When the World Sneezed, Ivanna della Torre, and food and beauty entrepreneur, and my dear friend, Kath Buendia of Keto, Pesca, and Ciao Baby Manila. As always, we want to know where you guys are signing in from, so be sure to leave some comments in the comment section. And of course, look out for our Quiz the Cook questions. For you guys to win any of this swag and any of the gifts from our generous partners, what we want you to do, remember you guys, you know the drill. Share the live stream, make sure it's set to public, and then of course, answer these questions correctly, these Quiz the Cook questions. I'm tongue-tied today. From Ciao Baby and Keto Pesca, you will receive a 2-day trial. So you'll have all that food delivered for 2 days in a row. You'll get to see, understand, taste, and enjoy both sets of meal plans for yourself and then for your kiddo. From Cantina, you'll also get 500 peso GC that you can claim in store, so you can go ahead and check it out. And from Origins Jiujitsu, you'll have class passes, and of course, some tote bags. Who doesn't need tote bags in this day and age? And of course, we all love good merch, mindful merch too. And for those of you who have your little ones, they may be sitting right beside you. You'll also get your own copy of When the World Sneezed from Ivanna. Remember, you must live in Metro Manila or have an address that we can ship to. Remember, hashtag sharing is caring after all. So if you guys aren't in Metro Manila and you're watching from different parts of the world or different parts of the Philippines, you can send these gifts over to your family and friends. We are broadcasting live today from Rappler's Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube channel. And we're also broadcasting on the Momma in Manila Facebook page as well. So if you have any comments or questions for our experts, please go ahead and feel free to leave that in the comment section so that we can answer any of your questions as well. So I'm excited to welcome everybody, my best buddies on cam. So let's welcome everybody. Hi, hello everyone.
Hi, hello.
How are you guys?
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. There's so many of us on this screen today. I love it. That means we're going to have a very lively conversation. I see TJ, you're in the dojo. So before we actually learn more about where you are and Origins Jiu-Jitsu, let's ask everybody really quickly. So hello, Ivanna, Kath, Dr. and TJ. As a kid, or even now, what are your favorite ways to get moving or your favorite sport to participate in? TJ, I'm going to save you for last. So we'll start with Dr. Jem.
Well, actually, I'm what you call this? I really want to move every day. Before I used to do the Zumba. Yes, I do Zumba and I participated in many sports now like badminton and bowling.
Right. very good sports. I like all of those as well. I think it's really important for us to keep moving,
Yes.
especially me. I know as I'm entering that stage of life where I think, that word that many women avoid of perimenopause, it's very important to build strength and to work out, and of course to be mindful of our movement as well. Kath, how about
Yes.
you? What's your activity of choice?
Well, well, recently I tried Pilates for a while, and then I have this treadmill I have out here in my own mini gym here inside my house. That's what I do.
So you work out also, you lift weights, strength training mostly?
I run. That's what I do.
Ah, okay, running.
Cardio.
Ivana, how about you?
Hi, Miss. So I used to be a figure skater when I was a
Oh,
teenager. Yeah, I used to go to different countries to compete together with my sister as well. But I stopped skating for a long time. So now I try to do Muay Thai. That's my
Okay.
go-to sport now.
I like Muay. I used to practice Muay also. I can't imagine. I mean, ice skating is such a wonderful sport. It's so graceful. And that actually explains a little bit. I'm thinking about your posture as well, because I know ice skating, your posture is very important too. TJ, obviously, you're in the dojo. Tell us about your sport of choice, or what you choose even for your kids.
Yeah, so I was very lucky early on. I was introduced to martial arts, specifically judo. So I started doing that at 11 years old. And I was really enthralled with how challenging the martial art is and the sport is, coupled with how humble and welcoming the people are who are practicing it. So the, all of those combined just made me stay. It has been 30 years since then. And I've added jiu-jitsu to the mix, which is what we're doing here in the dojo right now. And aside from that, I also do some strength and conditioning to balance things out. Just like any other sport, if you do it too much, you start having some imbalances in your body, and it's weightlifting that balances everything out. The left and the right side of the body, making sure that you're fit and healthy as you go on.
Right. So I love that your background is the kids right now. That's so much fun. I can imagine the energy in the dojo, and just how much fun it is teaching all those kids. So I think one thing that we have to remember when we're asking our kids to participate, or when we are showing them, how to get physical, or how to exercise, or how to eat properly, of course, for setting them up for a lifelong choices of well-being and health. It's really important that we get in there and do it too, right? Doc Jem, when it comes
yes.
to building our family's legacy of health and wellness, what are the most important things that we have to remember?
Yeah, the one thing that I can just say is modeling, okay? So, all kids, they all look up to their parents. So, if the parents will model what, in the health and wellness, no, in everything they eat and take inside their body,
Okay, it looks like Doc Jem might have some connectivity issues, but I think all of us agree here. We learned what we did in terms of how to care for ourselves from our parents, which means we also have to set that example for our kids. So modeling is really important. If we were going to say, so TJ, we can see all the excitement and the things that are going on behind you. What are the benefits to practice? So before I ask you that, our family, Nino practiced taekwondo. I come from running as well, just like Kath. I ran when I was in high school. I competed. I also participated in football, or slash in the States, they call it soccer. So that was my sport. And I always felt it was important to involve my kids in sports, because if they are active in sports, they have a lot less time to get in trouble. But you were mentioning you practiced jujitsu since 11, and it's something you stuck with. What are some of the benefits that we can expect when our kids are enrolled in martial arts like jujitsu?
Sure. Well, the obvious one would be physical fitness and self defense, right? We get the kids moving, we get the kids their feet strong. We practice it barefoot. We get the kids' arms and shoulders strong because they do spend a lot of walking on their hands and knees and their feet here, right? We spend a lot of time pushing and pulling, so we activate all of those muscles, and we do it in a functional manner in such a way that they can apply these skills that they're learning here on the scenario that they do have to stand up when somebody's taking advantage or trying to harm them. But more importantly, aside from the anti-bullying or facing bullies, the aspect of not being bullies themselves is what we're trying to share with the kids here. A lot of the bullying that we see in school comes from posturing because the kids want to find out what they're capable of and how strong they are. And we do all of that here in the gym, so they don't have to do it in school. So that's first. Number two, we help the kids with mental health and emotional well-being. There's a there's a saying that a lot of executives say when they do jujitsu that after jujitsu training, the noise of everyday life becomes muted. Right?
Oh, I
The
like
point of
that.
jujitsu, yeah, the point of jujitsu is eventually to get a submission hold, which is to strangle someone or apply a joint breaking lock. And we do it in a safe manner here where we can do it over and over again without causing injuries. So the the saying goes is that you can't be absent-minded when you're engaging when somebody's trying to choke you or break your arm, quote unquote, right? Or applying a joint lock. So you have to be in the moment. And when you go through that kind of stress, the stress of everything else suddenly becomes doesn't seem so big, and that you can handle it already.
Right,
Uh,
right.
I've I've had just a very recent conversation with one of the parents who has their kid enrolled with us. Prior to enrolling their kid here, their kid doesn't want to separate from them at any given time, meaning that they have to go to school with them, they have to go everywhere that they're going, the kids go, the mom has to be present, and the kid just
Wow.
throws a tantrum
Separation
when the mom's not
anxiety to the hilt. Yeah. Okay.
Exactly. And ever since the kids started doing jujitsu, the kids now more comfortable going on play dates and being left with other people. So that's been a really big help on the mental and emotional well-being of the child. So
And independence. So it's physical fitness, it's self-defense. There's also the mental and the emotional well-being. I love what you said, which was the noise of everyday life gets muted. So we have, two of those benefits. I'm sure there are more. What else can you tell us about what it does for you, even as an individual?
yeah, sure. Well, the third one would be compassion, empathy, community, right? Although as a sport, you step onto the competition mats on your own, preparing for the competition, you need to have people around you. You can't practice jiu-jitsu on your own, right? So you need to have training partners, you need to have teammates. And your growth in the sport and the martial art is highly dependent on the people that are around you. That means you have to take care of your training partners. You have to make sure that they don't get injured. You have to make sure that both of you excel with each other as you go along in the sport. And that creates a sense of community and teaches kids about compassion and empathy and caring for others. So it's a really
Yeah.
big
So
benefit for kids.
I think it's amazing that it builds the community while also you were sharing that anecdote of that parent building the community of the support of each other, and then, even fostering independence in one of your students. I think that's pretty amazing.
For sure, for sure. Kids find confidence here. They find they learn how to care for others. It's a complete package.
Awesome. I'm sure there are more, even in terms of accomplishing, because you mentioned when we were off cam earlier about a belt ceremony, right? So how does that happen? How does, or a stripe ceremony? I think you called it a stripe ceremony. I'm sure that's similar to what we know, what my family knows in Taekwondo for the belts. What's that like?
Yeah, so in between belts, kids are awarded stripes. So you get 4 stripes in between belts. So we're a young club here. We just opened up in Santa Rosa last October. And after 3 months of dedicated training, about 24 of our kids received their first stripes. So that's a really big motivation for them because it's a reflection of all the hard work and effort that they put in. And that hard work and effort was not only reflected in their stripes, but also in their skills. And it goes back to the uh, this sense of accomplishment also goes back to the aspect of compassion, because what we tell the kids is that those stripes not only represent your improvement and your skill, it also represents that you have to take care of all the other people who have less stripes or less belt colors than you. That you are
Oh,
now
I
that
love
you
that.
have knowledge and skills that in that knowledge and skill you have to share it with your other teammates so that they can attain what you attain.
I love that. Wait, tell us where the dojo is, because I'm sure parents are already thinking like, hey, I want to enroll my kids in jujitsu. Tell us where you're located.
Yeah, so we're located out of the city. We're in Soledad Malls in Nuvali. We're the first martial arts gym here, the first dedicated jiu-jitsu gym. We're in a very accessible place right inside the Ayala Mall. So all the parents, they just, once they're comfortable enough, they've had a few sessions, they leave their kids here, they can do their groceries, they can do their hair, they can do their shopping. Uh, all the windows here, we have clear windows, so everyone has transparency. They feel safe that their kids are being left here, supervised by them. We have very qualified coaches. One of our assistant coaches, he's also a physical therapist specializing in pediatric care. So yeah, if you're staying in the area, if you're working here, if you're going to school here, please check us out. We're Origins Martial Arts in Soledad 3 Nuvali. Here in San
Yeah,
Carlos.
that makes a big difference. The parents also have to have the trust in leaving the kids with you. So besides all of these effects, I think, when you and I were talking about this, the last positive effect or result of practicing was something that I think, even for me, I really want my kids. I really want to instill this virtue in my kids as well. I think this is even maybe the most important in this day and age when so many kids are privileged and maybe a little bit spoiled without for fear of not saying another word, spoiled or maybe even entitled, right? I think this last benefit of practicing jujitsu that you and I were talking about is even more important.
Yeah, so we're talking about the aspect of humility, the benefit of humility in jiu-jitsu training, right? So, there's a saying in jiu-jitsu: sometimes you're the hammer, sometimes you're the nail, right? Sometimes you're the winner, sometimes you're the loser. And you can't display too much hubris in what we do here, because there's always going to be a bigger guy, there's always going to be a much stronger or more skilled guy. And if you put yourself up in too much of a high pedestal, then someone's going to come over and teach you a lesson or two and remind you
Right.
that we still got a long ways to go. And
Right.
that just reminds us to have a beginner's mentality, that we should always seek to be learning more and improving ourselves, and to see ourselves as a beginner in everything, just seeking knowledge.
Yeah.
Our core tenets in Origins is learn constantly, help others, and have fun. That pretty much grounds us in whatever we do.
Truly spoken like a master. So, of course, TJ, we have a video. You guys did do us the favor of shooting some content for us so everybody could see not just what was going on behind you, but what an average class looks like for both kids and adults. So this is something you can do with your family. This is something, obviously can keep the whole family healthy. TJ, walk us through this video.
Sure. Yeah, so we opened up here in Nuvali last October, and we've been very blessed to have the support of the community here. We have a very good kids program. You can see here in the footage, we're doing some stretching and some preparatory exercises for a day's worth of combat sports. Right, we're priming the kids' bodies through movement, push-ups, right, running, floor exercises. Right, all of these prime their bodies up to prepare them from the bigger load of wrestling with their teammates and having some fun and learning some new skills. Right? We're getting their muscles strong and pliable, ready to withstand hard day of training. So that's my son there, that's Max, showing the basic body movements in Jiu-Jitsu. While it's easy for us to move around on our feet because it's very instinctual, once you hit the floor, it's a different story. You have to know how to move back and forth when you're on your back. So that's what we're trying to learn here. This exercise, we call this prone crawls, and it develops a lot of the pulling muscles of the kids. It's great, and it translates to other sports too, like archery. We had one of our parents say that their 5-year-old kid all of a sudden can pull the bow fully
Wow.
back after going through all of these drills.
That was a huge class, by the way.
It's a big class. I think that footage you saw, we had about 28 people in that class.
Yeah.
Right? We do games. We gamify a lot of the skills development practices to make sure that the kids are having fun and they have a real life experience of how to acquire those skills. Right? So just give them instructions what to do. We put them in scenarios to force them to develop the movements needed to gain the skills. We just make it fun for everyone, even for the adults.
Right.
We minimize the reps. We just do a lot of games. Keep everyone moving, keep everyone sweating. And
Cute.
that's it. That's our community here.
Fun for the whole family. And of course, physical fitness, doing all of that together, obviously, is instilling in the kids this understanding of what, wellness and well-being is. So this brings us to our first Quiz the Cook question. So I hope you guys are paying attention. There were a lot of things that TJ and I talked about, as well as Dr. Jem. I know we didn't hear so much from Ivanna and Kath, but we did learn that they have, that Ivanna was a figure skater. And of course that Kath, like me, enjoyed running and enjoys running. So okay, while we are panning, I'm just going to say hello to some of our viewers tuning in from all over. Guys, up for grabs, we have from Chow Baby and Keto Pesca. You will have a 2-day trial for your meal plan. From Cantina, you'll get to claim a 500 peso gift certificate that you can visit in store. And from Origins Jiujitsu, you will have class passes and, of course, those tote bags. There's that handsome gent. TJ there on those collaterals. And then, of course, you will also get your own copy of When the World Sneezed, which is one of my favorite books right now, reading to Jelly when it's bedtime. Okay, so of course, we need an address in Metro Manila. We hope that you shared the live stream, set your profile to public so that we can see it. Our social media team does go and check. Guys, we've had people who have answered correctly and lost their prize because they didn't share the live stream. Boo-hoo, sad face. All right, guys, here is the first Quiz the Cook question. TJ, I'm not sure if you can see the tile when it's shared. Are you able to see it if we share it? Let's see. If you can go ahead and read it.
Yeah, name 5 benefits to practicing jiu-jitsu with your kids.
Yeah, so we covered quite a few. Master TJ, of course, shared so many different benefits. Of course, I was already thinking that I wanted to enroll. I'm not so sure I could roll around on the ground like that, though. I have to get moving a little bit more. All right, guys, so for those of you, even if you're tuning in from Antipolo, we have some visitors tuning in from Mandaluyong. Hello, Carrie. Hi, Ivan, Elo, Kriza. Thanks for tuning in. And of course, we're happy to have you here. Hello, Tinky. Please send hugs and kisses to Alexa. I'm glad that you're here too. All right. Very important for the foodies and for, of course, all of us who do practice this physical activity. We know that it's not just important what you eat before, but it's also important what you eat after. I mean, in this case, it looks like, there are things that at least I know, for my family, for Team Jelly Bean, we do have one rule. And this rule is something this has been in practice since Gia was small. You guys know Gia's well into her 20s already, but the kids know that they have to have 5 colors a day. Now, I don't fight them on what they are. I usually serve 2 or 3 different types of vegetables when we have dinner. And then, of course, there's always a fruit readily available, either cut up in the fridge or out on the counter that they can go ahead and have a banana, an apple, or an orange if they like. But 5 colors a day for me, that's my usual rule, because I think that's getting the kids getting enough fruits and vegetables, because it's important for me that they get that. But if we're talking about dietary and nutritional needs, I know there's the food pyramid. So Kath, it seems like Dr. Jem has is having connectivity issues, but I know, let's talk about Chow Baby because there's a misconception. I know you have all of the different keto brands. Tell us about the keto brands, but then let's focus on Chow Baby and the different nutritional needs you address for each child as they're growing older. Hi, Doc Jam, you're back.
So, hi.
Hi.
Okay, so
Kath, tell us about Chow Baby.
Okay, so before I talk about Chow Baby, let me introduce you our different keto brands, which we actually started off with Keto Living PH, and then it grew to Keto Vegetarian PH, and then Keto Vegan PH, and then Keto Pesca PH. Okay, so doing all these brands, of course, we actually experience a lot of moms out there who's been like, oh, when are you going to like do a meal delivery for kids? And then pandemic hit, right? And the lockout hit, and then kids couldn't go out, and then moms have trouble, preparing uh what to eat, the nutritious things to eat for their kids. This is how we actually formulated. I formulated Chow Baby Manila. So now, what is Chow Baby Manila? Chow Baby Manila caters to pregnant and lactating moms and kids from 1 to 18 years old. Okay. Growing mama, nurturing mama, chow baby toddlers, chow baby kids, chow baby teens. So
Okay.
that's it.
So it goes all the way from growing the baby, as we do,
Yes,
growing the baby, right, to the growing kids.
yes.
And if we're talking about the food pyramid, I know I had this conversation with Doc Jem. We were talking about it seems like she's having a little bit of connectivity issues, but I just want to cover the things that we were talking about in terms of the food pyramid, right? So whenever you're feeding your kids, of course, you want to make sure they have protein, healthy fats, right? The right grains and carbs, and of course, the fruits and vegetables. For me, I like giving my kids more fruits and vegetables than supplements. I know there are many parents who find it so difficult to get their kids to eat fruits and vegetables. So vitamins also help as well, right? But Chow Baby does all of that for you, takes the brain work out,
Yes.
and you deliver this the same way you deliver the keto meals?
Yes, we do. We deliver this from Sunday to Thursday night. So practically your food that we deliver at night will be the food of the kids or the moms the following day.
Right. And so I've tried all of the ketos, right? And the Chow Babies, even for jelly. I actually, so for those of you guys that don't know, I actually went vegan for a little while. I did a food intolerance test and I saw
And
that
you
I
did
was
very well.
Yeah, I did. I really did. Those benefits of going keto for me were amazing. And I really did feel amazing. Also because I really monitored, my intolerances. I can't have eggs, I can't have wheat, and I can't have dairy. So
But mind
going vegan.
Yes, mind you, you did not just go keto. You went keto vegan. So
Keto vegan, yeah. And
yes,
it was good for me. Actually, I think I remember telling you, I felt like so rejuvenated. I was writing again. The brain fog disappeared, right? I lost all this weight. But we'll get back into the keto benefits a little bit later. I want to talk about, Doc, you're back. I'm so glad you're back. We were talking about the food pyramid and the benefits.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
That's okay. So, Doc, and I guess in this case, I'll ask TJ and even Ivana, because you were an athlete that competed. What were some of the things? So let's start with Ivana. Ivana, what were some of the things that you would look for after competing, like after a strenuous exercise, even as a younger girl, right? You said you were competing well into your teens. What would you look for to eat afterwards?
I mean, my appetite was really big after every single training I had to go through. And of course, a lot of rest as well. I used to go, it was in Mega Mall when I used to skate. I used to go there at 7 in the morning and would end really late at night. And so the next day would be like rest day for me. And on top of that, there's school, right? So yeah, a lot of, banana. I remember eating a lot of bananas then, a lot of protein. That time didn't have a problem with carbs, so I think I ate a lot of carbs as well. But that's
Right.
teenage gut, so that's fine.
Right. That is okay. TJ, how about the kids? What do you suggest to the kids that you're coaching? What should they look for in a snack or something healthy to eat after they practice?
Yeah, so Mitch, I don't know if I shared this with you. I'm actually a certified nutrition and master health coach also under Precision Nutrition. So what we advocate in Precision Nutrition is to make sure that we are fueling ourselves for our activity. So in terms of sport, Jiujitsu and Judo is highly glycolytic activity, meaning that it's highly dependent on glucose. So in terms of recovery, of course, we need to have an ample amount of protein to help us replenish whatever protein we lost from the protein turnover that the activity induced in us. We need to replenish our glycogen storage. Right? Our muscles contain glucose, stores glucose in the form of glycogen. And when we exercise,
Okay.
that's the first energy source that we tap into. And we need to replenish that for us to recover fast. And
Wow,
then lastly,
go ahead.
Yeah, and lastly, we need to have our essential fats pretty good to help us recover fast. Omega-3 supplementation is really great if you're not having a high amount of omega-3s from your diet. So having a well-balanced diet and fueling your activity is what's essential.
Right. So it's just as important. I didn't know that you were certified that way. So that actually like you could probably put together the whole program for the kids, not just how they exercise, but of course what they eat. So it's just as important as to what you eat before when you are, burning all of that energy, and then what you eat after, right? Protein wise. Kath, how about you? What do you look for after, running or Pilates?
Well, right after, have this drink. It's called D1 or D.
I love that
one. There you go.
Yeah.
It's actually something that I eat to replenish electrolytes just after you work out.
Right. And that's also part of the services that you offer with the meal plans as well, right? These juices and smoothies, even, for those of us that would enjoy this type of nutrition.
Yes.
Excellent. Okay. Doc, you're back. So, okay, we have a winner. It looks like we have someone who's paying attention greatly to our first question, because there are so many benefits to practicing jiu-jitsu with your kids. Master TJ really gave us a whole plethora of reasons why jiu-jitsu could be or should be the activity of choice for your growing family. So Carrie Dre, congratulations. You answered correctly. With developed strength, endurance, flexibility, and coordination, self-defense, compassion, empathy, self-confidence, and of course, builds discipline. You were paying attention. Congratulations. Our social media team will get in touch with you, so please be sure when to answer them when they reach out. This brings us to a snack that I prepared. I'm excited to share this with you. I was researching and looking at what would be good to eat after the kids eat. I was asking my own kids, what did they like when I would prepare for them? When they got home from school or when they got home from practice, they had a lot of different answers. They, I usually prepare sweet potato pancakes. I do grilled cheese sticks. I did a lot of homemade chicken nuggets, like things that I would make myself. They had a bunch of different things, but I said, let me try something different for this episode. And I came up with these Parmesan zucchini crisps, inspired, of course, by Pinterest when I was looking around. And as we were talking before the show, Kath said that this is also keto. So if you guys are going or considering keto, you can go ahead and try making these zucchini crisps at home. And they were really yummy. So we'll roll that video and I'll walk you guys through really quickly. I think the most important thing when you look at what you're making for the kids is to start with quality ingredients, right? So if you can get organic, of course, that's better. Fresh zucchini is definitely the way to go in this case. Slicing them super thin and then taking advantage of your air fryer, by just like laying them in to make them nice and crispy. Super easy. This is literally extra virgin olive oil. Make sure that it's extra virgin. Salt and pepper. I use Himalayan salt. Toss, throw in some Parmesan, and we're just gonna literally toast this. So I toasted it in the air fried it in the air fryer for 10 minutes at 148 or 149, right? So I tried doing it a couple of different ways, and 149 at 10 minutes, at 149 degrees Celsius, gave me the crispiest chips.
Like 149, right?
Yeah. So super easy. I prepared the whole thing, right? So we just finished the video halfway through, but I prepared all of it and the kids ate all of it very quickly. So they liked it. All right. So this actually leads us to our second Quiz the Cook question. I know everybody is excited, and we have some new viewers here. So let's see. Hello, Elizabeth and Elia. It's good to see everybody here tuning in from wherever you are in Metro Manila. But remember, guys, you don't have to live in Metro Manila to win. We just need an address to deliver to. So you can hashtag sharing is caring, of course, with your family, friends, and anyone in between. All right, up for grabs for this next Quiz the Cook question, both from Chow Bibi and Keto Pesca. You will receive a 2-day trial. So you'll get everything that you would have delivered the night before, just like Kath said. All of your food will be delivered the day before. You can heat it up. If it's salad, obviously you're just gonna pull it out of the fridge. You'll also receive a 500 peso gift certificate that you can claim in Cantina. The restaurant is in QC. And from Origins Jiujitsu, you'll also have class passes and, of course, your own swag tote bag that everybody is using nowadays. Of course, we're trying to be mindful and sustainable. And I love that actually even TJ's wife, M, who's also part of Origins Jiu-Jitsu, is so mindful in everything that she puts together. Very sustainable. Everything that they put together in the dojo or the gym is really well thought out. And then, of course, When the World Sneezed, Ivanna will send you over your own copy of her book that she wrote. I'm excited for you guys to receive this as well. You'll love it. Has really some good tidbits for the little ones. And remember that because this is question number 2, we're picking commenter number 4 who answers correctly. I will go ahead and read this one. So we can show the tile, and it is, what is Michelle's rule for Team Jellybean's consumption of fruits and vegetables? So in that case, if you guys are paying attention, we talked about this casually. This is something, of course, that does go by the food pyramid, but in terms of servings. All right. Okay, guys, this brings us to our next segment, right? We talked about the food pyramid, the different types of food you look for before and after exercising, how kids need to see you modeling this behavior every day. Of course, this is where that is, monkey see, monkey do is very important. So for those of us that have kids, we know that if we don't eat vegetables, the kids are not going to eat vegetables, right? So Kath, this actually, this section, I really do want to talk about keto a little bit. First, let's, talk about keto, explain what it is. And then maybe Doc Jem can also, because I know Doc Jem is also a keto advocate. We were talking earlier, I think it was a day or two ago, when we were chatting, and she agrees that keto is very good for her and for her body type. So who is keto good for?
Okay, I think Dr. Jam would be the best person to actually talk about and who is it good for.
So Doc Jem, she's throwing that question
Yeah.
to you.
Actually, yes. Not keto is not really for everyone. You still have to really stick to that rule of like taking in 20 grams of carbs only a day. But eventually, if you stick to that, you'll rid of the body of your sugar cravings and everything, and improve your health all over. Like it prevents diabetes, high blood pressure, and even acne. And they even use it for the infertility cases now. And again, of course, the keto will just shift your the body's use of glucose. It will shift because you deprive your body of glucose or the sugar that you supposed to be used for energy. So the fat storage of your body and everything that you take in will burn will be burned. So in the process, no, you lose weight also, and overall health will ensue after that.
Right, right. So let me
Yes,
recap. Let me recap here, just so our viewers also understand. When we reduce the carb intake, because this
yes,
is a very specific diet, right? It's really not for everybody. It's you definitely should talk to someone before you do it. When you reduce your carb intake to less than 50 grams a day, then we're burning that glycogen, which is stored in our cells. I know TJ talked about this earlier. It's the first thing to burn. And when you stop feeding your body that sugar, right, then your body will actually start burning that fat that's there, because then that means you're in a
Fat.
state of ketosis, right?
We'll use fat instead
Yes.
of glucose because the whole thing, what happens actually is that we're going to starve our body by not feeding it glucose and instead using your stored fats as energy. That is what happens.
Right. And then you see the effects of this physically, right? So some of the effects, I guess, Kath, what would you say? What are some of the signs that your body is in ketosis?
Okay, number one. Okay, it's very typical. Weight loss. Weight loss is very typical. Some have actually attested to losing as far as 1 kilo a day
Wow. Yeah.
from just starting it. Actually,
Yeah. That was
yes.
Nino. Nino lost his weight. I know you and I were talking when we were on, Nino and I were on keto, and I was like, what the heck? Why is he losing so much and I'm not losing any? And
Yes.
I think, right? And then
I was
when we
asked-
talked about it, you were like, wait, you're not losing any weight? I said, no. And
yes.
then you said, well, how about inches? Are you losing inches? And I was like, oh my gosh, I am. I was losing all of that belly fat that,
Yes.
moms tend to have sometimes. But okay, so weight loss. Um, Doc
Nice.
Jem even said something about it's good for people who have diabetes, so it
of
lowers
course,
blood sugar.
yes,
Yeah,
yes.
Type
yeah,
2.
It's one of the long term
right.
good effect. Yes,
Yes.
Improved acne, right? Oh, hello.
yes,
Can
the
you?
skin.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
yes, for the skin.
Right.
Your
So
skin,
improved skin. Yeah.
focus, overall wellness, health. I mean, without exaggeration, you feel 10 years younger.
Right.
Without exaggeration.
Right.
You feel really good about yourself. And yes, just overall, like you have never felt like that before.
Okay, so I'm going to jump in again because I did go keto for a good 3 months. I did, the brain fog disappeared. I think I was the most prolific that I was while I was writing, and I think that has a lot to do with the fact that I stayed away from those foods that I was intolerant of. Right, so keto and vegan. But let's be also really clear. Keto, or even keto vegan for the kids when they're practicing for the kid. These are not the types of things that you want the kids to be eating. We want them to have a balanced meal, fulfilling all of the nutritional needs that we talked about earlier with the food pyramid. So keto, definitely for those of us who want to jumpstart health or jumpstart weight loss, I think is a great idea. I'm curious. I'm sure TJ has an opinion on this as well. I know that keto, it's definitely not for everyone, but for those of us who do really well on it, we do feel excellent. Okay, I think we have a winner for the second question. Not yet. Let me see. Not yet, but that's okay. We do? Okay, we do. Sorry. False alarm. We have a winner. I hope Kalia Aubrey Garcia. Congratulations. 5 colors for Kayla Aubrey Garcia. 5 colors for fruits and veggies. And guys, so that's actually, the kids can really choose. This is in addition to the daily nutrition that we know, protein, healthy fats, and of course, grains and carbohydrates, that when the kids are actually participating in the activities, the physical and strenuous activities like jiujitsu or ice skating or even running, we want to make sure they have those carbs and the grains as well, right? And the healthy fats. So I'm excited to share these 2 recipes. One is keto. One is not, but my kids love the second one. I have them in the freezer quite often. So, I'll walk you guys through these very simple recipes you can make at home. They're good for the kids and they're good for the whole family. We can roll the frittata. Here we go. So frittatas are really easy to recycle leftovers. I kind of look at them the same way I look at fried rice. If there's anything in the fridge, I will break it out. Go ahead and throw it in there. It's good for 0 waste. And if you are on keto or if you want to up your protein intake, this is a great way, right? So we have the roasted cauliflower from the night before. I had some adobo flakes. Again, salt, pepper, a little bit of milk, a splash of milk, beating the eggs so that we can throw everything in. I also put some Parmesan. Those adobo flakes are left over from the night before as well. Those are Jelly's favorite. She loves adobo flakes. Throwing them in the silicone pan, super easy because everyone knows that when kids can hold something with their hands, or it's small or it's bite-sized, they are so much more likely to enjoy it if they can pick it up. Of course, in this day and age, making sure that everybody washes their hands before they eat. I threw in some fresh parsley. I also will top with a little bit of tomato sauce and some green onion and then some cheddar cheese. So how about you guys? Do you enjoy frittatas? Is that something that you guys make? Ivanna, do you make this for your toddler?
I haven't tried it, but I will right after watching this video. So thanks for sharing this.
Yeah, it's so easy. And when you make them small, like in the mini muffin pans, you can just pick them up and eat them really quickly. TJ, how about you guys? Do you guys, I know you do most of the cooking at home. Do you enjoy making frittatas?
On a cast iron skillet, so we tend to make it into bigger portions. So we serve it when there's a lot of people in the house. But I like the idea of using small muffin-sized portions. It's a game changer.
Yeah, for the kids, it always is, right? I mean, they love it when things are smaller and they're like kitty size. So I serve that one on Jelly's stainless steel, divider plate, because I don't know if I'm doing that because I don't want her food to touch or because she doesn't want her food to touch. But the zucchini chips and the peanut butter bites, which I'll show now in this next video, super easy again to do. I just use Lakatan bananas and very simple. I mean, this is like this is always a staple in my house. Sometimes I make them with the sticks, and they're like the frozen banana pops that you would get at Disney. This one, I just made them little banana bites because, again, smaller for the kids. I think this is a good, I don't know, TJ, maybe you can jump in, and Doc Jem, although I use dark chocolate, so I guess that would be, questionable in some sense. This would be a good snack for the kids after working out. So here what I did was I had homemade tahini. I mixed the tahini in with the peanut butter for that extra pack of protein, made little banana sandwiches, and then just dipped them in dark chocolate, right? So these are obviously for my kids, so I'm not wearing gloves. It's for my kids. My hands are clean. I dipped in the chocolate, and you could put sprinkles or nuts, peanuts, or in this one I put granola. I just had some ready-made granola just to give it a little bit of crunch. TJ, is this something that you think would be a good snack after working out?
Definitely. I think the bananas give the kids some electrolytes that they've lost with some sweating. You have some antioxidants from the dark chocolate and some protein from the tahini. There's a lot of good stuff in there.
Good stuff. Okay, well, we did figure out how to make our own tahini. I think when Jelly, maybe even Diego, I started putting tahini in the kids' food when I was making it, when they were just learning how to eat, because I knew that was a good source of protein before actually giving them meat. So tahini actually went in everything for the kids. We do have another quiz a cook question coming up. This is the third question. So that means 1, 4, 3, 4, 4. So the third person to answer correctly, for those of you that are tuning in, will go ahead and win all of the goodies from Chow Baby and Keto Pesca, where you will get a 2-day meal plan. And then you will have, and that will be delivered to your home. From Cantina, you can claim your GC in store. And of course, enjoy. Kath, you'll have to tell us later about Cantina and the restaurant concept behind that, so that everybody understands that's a healthy choice as well. And then, of course, from Origins Jiujitsu, you'll get to hang with TJ, Coach TJ, and of course, Coach Paolo, who I think is somewhere in the background with the other students. And you'll also have your own copy of When the World Sneezed, which we'll talk about in a little while. So coming up for this question, remember, guys, sharing is caring. Share the live stream. Make sure it's set to public. Third person to answer correctly for this quiz the cook question will take home all of that loot or have it delivered. And I know Doc Jem has been in and out, but maybe Kath, you could read the question, hopefully that everybody will be able to answer.
Sure. What is Dr. Jem's advice on how we can build healthy and strong families?
Right. So first and foremost, I know Dr. Jem was in and out, but she did share with us some of the most important things we could do on building our legacy for our family when it comes to health and wellness. Okay, health and wellness, obviously, we cannot leave out. We talked about nutrition. We talked about physical activity and the different things that we can do for our intake and of course for our output as well. But there's another really strong component when it comes to living a healthy life. Let's start with TJ, because I know if Paolo is there, maybe he's not there, but we can talk about the importance of recovery. And in this sense, how much sleep is important for athletes to get, when they're recovering from competition or from practice, or, in this case, physical activity.
Yeah, so 8 to 10 hours of sleep is good for people who live a strenuously active lifestyle in terms of sports and physicality. I know that's common knowledge. So what I tell my athletes that helps them a lot is that when they're preparing for their competitions, is that make sure that you put your best into each training session and find peace in that. Because what usually
Right.
happens is the week before a competition, everyone's jittery, everyone's nervous as you're gonna get the competition mats. And I just keep on telling them, just find comfort in knowing that you put your best in training, that you left it all there, and that everything will come out as it should in competition day. Find peace, find calm in that, and sleep well. That's the most important thing you can do for yourself.
Right. There you go. So peace and sleep, of course, is important. 8 to 10 hours. Doc Gem, when we talk about kids, there are different, I guess, levels. Obviously babies sleep a lot more, right? They
Yes.
sleep, they feed, they sleep, they breastfeed. Let's talk about the number of hours when we're talking about our growing kids.
Okay,
What is
yes.
what's recommended?
Yeah, we have a recommended number hours of sleep per stage. Like in infants, we have 12 to 16 hours. And then for toddlers up to 5 years old, they need 10 to 14 hours of sleep. And for the 6 to 12 years old level, they need 9 to 12. Then from those 13 and above, so similar to adults already, so they need 8 to 10 hours of sleep.
I don't know about anyone else, but my teenagers sleep. I feel like they sleep a heck of a lot more than 8 to
Yeah,
10 hours. I'm not sure. Like they're up really late at night and then they're sleeping during the day.
yeah,
That's
yes.
a teenage thing, right? Ivana, you have a toddler. How do you get ready for bed with him?
Well, the first thing, so we have this entire routine because he's always hyperactive. He's a little boy. He's 3 years old, so he's at the height of hyperactivity. So we need to slow it down. Alexa's on with its lullaby, and then we start reading books. So he goes to his library or to his bookshelf, and then he starts grabbing his favorite books to read at night. Of course, including When the World Sleeps. That's part of the routine. We go to bed and read all of the books. Usually go through three books a
Okay.
night, and then
Yeah, my limit is 3 also.
yeah.
My limit is 3, just 3, just 3. So tell us about the book, though. I know you and I have worked before. We've worked together on a couple of different projects, and I love that we get to chat here. Tell us about the book, why you wrote it, why it's important to you, and basically what other people can get from it when they're reading this book to their kiddos.
Yeah, so my work, so I would really consider this book as the confluence of my professional and personal life. That's what I always say, because professionally, I work in public policy. Exactly. I work in public policy. I work in health promotion. So that's really my line of work. And I'm always talking to doctors, always talking to government, officials, media, adults in general about health literacy, about the importance of fighting misinformation and disinformation. But because I also have a toddler and a pandemic toddler at that, I needed to figure out a way to just simplify the language. I mean, again, coming from the pandemic, I know a lot of parents needed to find out how to explain what's happening, why we need to wear a mask, why we need to get vaccinated, why there are lockdowns and all of that, why we can't go to malls or go to jiu-jitsu classes for months at a time. So thus this book, I mean, this is really, again, just my creative outlet to make sure that I can explain what's going on with the world, but also moving forward or looking forward, even outside of the pandemic, encourage healthier habits among toddlers.
Right. Well, you said it. It's really actually explaining the current situation and then serving it up in bite-sized pieces, because the kids, even as toddlers, they will understand if we explain it to them in a way that they can understand. So I love that you did this. I have my own copy, and I was sure to buy it the last time I saw you at Mommy Mundo. So guys, just so you know. Why we put this episode all together. Actually, this was the book that inspired me to put this episode together, because at the end, obviously, it's eat healthy, sleep early, move your body, and make it a hobby. Be fit, be strong, so that the next time nothing could go wrong. So this is really what our kids need to know so we can live a healthy life. And, you know, as we are still coming out of the pandemic and understanding, you know, we're just now understanding how we can come together again and how we can enjoy life physically outside. It's actually, it's such a blessing to be able to do this. But okay, so we talked about all the different things that we can do as parents, and we know that really importantly, more than anything, modeling that behavior, just like Dr. Jem had said earlier in the episode, is something that we can do as parents to leave that legacy, right? So, but let's ask Dr. Jem again. So if we're going to wind the kids down for bed, right?
Yes.
Ivanna talked about, she reads 3 books, she puts Alexa on, there's music, you know, she does a
Yes.
bunch of different things, but there are, you know, probably 3 or 4 things that we can look at as parents of kids who are little, what we can do.
Yes. First of all, you have to wind them down for bed. And try not to get them too worked up at least 2 hours before sleeping time. Because if they get hyper, they won't sleep na the whole up to 12 a.m. Then, yan, again, no gadgets. Again, make sure you can dim the lights. You can also dim the lights or just turn off. There's no really preference. But try to not settle them down by using gadgets. Okay? You can talk to them. And as Ivana said, you have to read to them. Even if they don't really like understand the full story, they really like reading the same book all over again. Then you can also give some bath time or even a sponge bath, or use like mga lavender baths and essential oils. That will help a lot. And then that's the last thing for the bonding between the parents and the children, is to read to them before bed. That's the best. I think that's the best quality time that you can give
Agreed.
the child before sleep.
Agree. I'm guilty of not reading to Jelly as much as I read to Gia, because baby number 4, I have a lot
I
less
know,
time
yeah.
than baby number 1. But I try
Less.
my best. I try my best. Ivana, tell us where we can get the book, because I'm sure people are curious.
So you can get this on Lazada and also from Parenting Emporium, which is a physical store in Quezon City. But Lazada, you just type up When the World Sleeps, it's right there.
Fantastic. I love the ladies over at the Parenting Emporium. They were my go-to when I was nursing Jelly, and she was unable to latch as an infant after her surgery. So it took a long time for us to get her to latch, and the ladies over at the Parenting Emporium were a lifesaver, as well as Abby, who was my lactation consultant. So you say the Parenting Emporium, and I'm immediately, you know, thrown back to leaving St. Luke's and visiting them in their QC location. So fantastic. I think we still do not have the correct answer yet for what Doctora's overall advice would be for parents. So let's give them a little bit more time to see if they can answer correctly. Let's see. We do have another quiz, the cook question.
Mish, if you don't mind, I just want to highlight one other thing as well, because this is something that I highlighted in the book, which is that these discussions, these stories, when we talk about health of our family, of our children, and even of ourselves, would really need to be led by health experts such as Dr. Jem. So I love that Dr. Jem is in this conversation, and that she's really leading the conversation and giving us, you know, evidence-based data points. Again, the whole fight against misinformation, disinformation is real. So it's important that whenever we have questions on health, the medical experts' advice.
Absolutely important that we trust them. No, there is a lot of disinformation. I'm glad you brought that up, because when it does come to caring for our families and our kids, it's important that we go to the right people. And thank you for reminding us. We do have some questions. There are a couple of questions that I see. So first, Carrie has a question for Dr. Jem. My 6-year-old daughter does not like taking a nap in the afternoon. Her sleeping time is usually 10 p.m. till 10 a.m. So Doc, why don't you chime in? This is for Carrie.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yeah. Yeah, so what's her problem? What's her question?
Carrie's question is her 6-year-old doesn't like taking naps, but she does sleep a full 12 hours. So she goes to bed at 10 and wakes up at 10.
Yeah,
How,
I think
is that okay?
if yeah, I think if we can just complete the 12 hours, that's okay. But if we can try as much as possible to let the child uh take just one nap in the afternoon and let her sleep at around 8 or 9. So what I advise for them to do is to increase the activities for the child. And of course, you have to look at into the diet if there is something that can stimulate that are stimulants to the child. You have to taper it off, and then
Right.
try as much as possible. Yeah, to do all the um, winding down styles
A
to
little bit
let the
earlier.
child sleep. Yes,
Yeah.
and
Maybe
then
a little
of course the parents should set an example. What
bit.
if the parents are just like also up until that time? Of course, the
Right.
child won't sleep on her own or his own.
Right.
So you have to set an
Again, that
example.
number
Yes.
again, that number one rule of modeling the behavior. So, very important when we talk right straight from Dr. Jem's
Yes.
mouth. It's very important that we model that behavior. So, one thing, Carrie, I can say that worked for me when my kids were smaller and I was a stay-at-home mom and Nina would go out and work. The thing that I would actually start winding the kids down at around 5 o'clock. So after school, we do homework. After homework, we go out and play. After playing outside and literally running around with them, again, modeling that behavior. So bringing them out, doing chalk on the driveway, playing catch, running around the neighborhood, and then coming back in, having dinner, washing up, having dinner, winding down, having that bath with lavender and just like calming them down, and then giving them quiet things to do. So this is not the time you're going to wrestle or practice jujitsu. This is the time that you're going to kind of, slow down things so that the kids will go to bed earlier. By the time Nino came home from work at 6 or 6:30 or maybe even 7, the kids were already in pajamas, and I would put them in bed at 8. And I would literally lay down with them so that they would go to sleep. Again, modeling that behavior. So, and then once they were asleep, I would leave them in the room. And actually that made more time for Nino and I to connect as well. So I don't know if that helps, but that's something from my own experience from my kids who are now older. There. So, okay. I think we finally have a winner for Quiz the Cook question number 3, which was the third person or maybe even the first person who got it right. It looks like Catherine Sikat was able to answer correctly by modeling that behavior. So yes, as parents, guys, remember, we are the models of healthy behavior, healthy choices, healthy diets, physical activity. Our kids will copy what we do. Monkey see, monkey do. All right, so congratulations. And yes, Carrie, happy to share. I know Carrie also had a question, I think, about her husband and keto. So Carrie, you can go ahead and private message Keto Pesca with that question, or keto vegan, keto vegetarian, keto living. Kath and her team can answer any other questions that you have about keto as well. So this brings us to our fourth question, where we can now give another opportunity for someone to win a Quiz the Cook question. Make sure you have shared. You're watching either from the Rappler or the Momma and Manila Facebook page. And for this, because it's a fourth question, the fourth person to answer correctly will win 2 full days of Chow Baby and Keto Pesca. This meal plan will be delivered to your doorstep from Cantina in QC. You'll also get a 500 peso GC that you can claim in store. I'm sure you're going to find more than anything that you would love to try. Lots of different dishes on their menu. From Origins Jiujitsu, you'll have class passes, an Origins tote bag, and of course, everyone will get their own copy of When the World Sneezed to explain to those little ones why things happen the way they do and how important it is to take care of yourselves and your body to fight off any of those colds, coughs, and viruses. So very important. Make sure that you have an address in Metro Manila. And if you don't, it's okay. You can share your loot or your swag with someone that you care about as well. Okay, Kath, or let's see, who hasn't read a question yet? Has everyone read a question or not yet? Am I the only one reading? I can't remember. I'm sorry. Ivanna, could you read our question for the fourth question for the Quiz the Cook?
Sure. All right. So, what are the 3 signs indicating your body is in ketosis? What are the 3 signs indicating your body is in ketosis?
There you go. Okay, guys. Good luck. I hope you guys were paying attention. Now, I've written about my experience with keto. I've also talked about it on my social media and written about it here on Rappler in my column, as well as on my blog. I've even shared some keto recipes that I love, some keto crackers that are really awesome. So if you guys have more questions, you can certainly DM any of Kath's accounts on IG or Facebook. They're always ready, willing, and able to answer any of the questions you have about keto. And there's even a Viber group. Kath, tell us about the Viber group that you support when people are new and kind of unsure.
Okay, this Viber group that you is actually a group that was unintentionally built. When you go into keto, you want to go into it responsibly. So we are a food delivery. We are a keto food delivery that actually supports, teaching how to do it right. Because there are a lot of information out there. You can Google everything, but you don't. Not everything that you read on Google can be right. So, a part of one of the people in this community is actually Dr. Jem, who supports us, who's been a keto advocate for many years now. So we're very very fortunate that we have her there, and actually some of the loyal keto practitioners have been doing keto for a long time, so they share their experiences, and we actually guide people who are just starting.
Yeah, very supportive. I know for me, when I first started, also, I was kind of like sending you pictures, ingredients, like different things, because I wanted to know more about how to do it effectively and how to do it the right way. But okay, so we know that as adults, we can try lots of different ways that help us achieve the results that we want, whether that's through diet, through physical activity. But for kids also, I know, Ivanna, you shared a recipe with us that your little one loves. You said you researched this and this was something specific that you wanted to make for him because you knew it would be better than some of the other store versions that, if this would be healthier. Tell us about the recipe that you're going to share with us.
Right. So I'm somebody, because I'm super busy at work, right? I'm a corporate professional and I have a toddler. So I really needed something that's super easy to make. It's a 4 ingredient recipe. I'm not sure if you're gonna show the video in a few seconds, but yeah,
We can, but yeah, I was figuring you could also share with us, the different ways that you look for feeding him, how you do things, go-tos for you.
yeah. So again, because in health promo, it's really pinggang Pinoy, right? That we follow your go grow glow food. That's in if you want to look it up, pinggang Pinoy on the DOH website or probably WHO. So I try to really follow that. One thing that's really helped me is if you know those toddler plates with a suction that already has a divider. So it's the perfect reminder for me whether I have enough go grow glow foods.
Right.
And yeah, so for this, because it has oatmeal, it has banana, it has egg, it has everything in it. It's packed with nutrients. So that's my go. This is really my go-to breakfast food for him. In fact, that was his breakfast this morning.
It was. I love that it's go-to, and I love that you have this also place that you visit. You look for ideas, with anything as a mom who, looking for the support the same way those of us who are looking for support in sports, the community that, I love how this is all tying together, that the community that TJ's building with the dojo and the activities that they do there, the community that Kath is building, with keto and the different food types of delivery that she obviously is giving to people who need that support. And then Ivanna, the way that you are looking for support and the go grow glow, this obviously we can research this also and know that there's lots of different information out there. Again, being wary of that disinformation. Kath mentioned that earlier. So I love that, everybody on call here today is very mindful about what we put out there and mindful about what we consume. So really important. So let's share this recipe that you were mindfully preparing for your little one.
So there's a 4 ingredient banana pancake. You've got oatmeal, cinnamon, and just blend it all together. Eggs, bananas. It's super easy. It probably takes 5 minutes to do this. And then you just put the butter there. And you put all the ingredients there. I usually just put it in a diameter of maybe 2 inches. It'll cook 2 minutes or maybe a minute each side. That's it. I pair it with strawberries or grapes. That's agave syrup that I use as well. So I try to really make it super simple and easy to make.
Simple is good. And I love that you have already one color on his plate. Those red strawberries, for me, they're my favorite fruit. I actually ate them the entire time I was pregnant with Diego. Okay, I think we have a winner for this last quiz, the fourth Quiz the Cook question before we go to our next and our last. It looks like, let's see, I'm going to read some of the questions. So, some of the viewers are very shocked at how easy those pancakes look, Ivanna, and I'm sure they're delicious as well. Dita says, love it. And Elo says, wow, it looks so easy to prepare. Agnes also says, yummy and simple and easy to make. So Ivanna and I are mommies, and we definitely like easy. Easy is good. All right, so congratulations. It looks like our winner here is Robert Tariman. He answered correctly with headache, fatigue, and weight loss. Congratulations. Someone from the team will be getting in touch with you, and you can go ahead and claim your prizes once you give all the correct information to get you your prizes. Okay. We do have, I do want to ask, there were some questions. Again, reiterating to everyone who's tuning in, if you have questions about Jiu-Jitsu, go ahead and message Origins Martial Arts PH, correct? TJ, is that Origins Martial Arts PH? And questions, for Ivanna in terms of anything really health related, or even in how to write your own children's book, because she did that during the pandemic. She wasn't productive enough working. She needed to write a book as well. And Dr. Jem, of course, if you have questions about overall health, keto, or even family health as well, because she is a pediatrician, she can answer those questions. And Kath, very many accounts, right? So it's not just the health and the keto advocacy. She also has, of course, beauty accounts as well, beauty and wellness. So let's start with TJ, because we haven't heard from you so much, I'm sorry, in the past 2 segments. Tell us where we can find you, and how people can get in touch and learn more about Jiujitsu.
Sure. So we're Origins Martial Arts. We opened up here in Soledad Mall in Nuvali, Santa Rosa. We have multiple classes a day, 3 to 4 classes per day. We have unlimited packages, so you can train as much as you want. You can just live here in the gym and train all day. We have classes for anyone and everyone. We have class for beginners, for intermediate and advanced levels, class for kids, teens, and adults. Right? You can find us online through Instagram and Facebook. Look out for us at Origins Martial Arts PH. And everyone's welcome. Please come over and join us.
Okay, all right. So you guys can go ahead and message TJ if you have questions. I definitely think he's the coach that can help give you a well-rounded experience, not just physically, of course. I didn't even know that he was nutritionally trained as well. Before we go on to hear from Ivanna, Kath, and Dr. Jem, I do want to ask the last question. So we will chat and catch up while you guys get this 5th answer correctly. Hopefully you get it and you answer it correctly, and we don't have to struggle because you guys aren't paying attention so much, huh? What's happening? All right, so up for grabs, we have Chow Baby and Keto Pesca. You get a 2-day trial of these meals delivered to your doorstep. From Cantina, you will get a GC that you can go ahead and claim in store. Let me know if you're going, because I can see you there too. From Origins Jiujitsu, you will have class passes and Origins tote bags. And from Ivanna, she will send over a copy of When the World Sneezed. So TJ, since we just finished and wrapped with you sharing some of your information, why don't you read that last question, and then we're gonna ask the ladies where everybody can get in touch with them too.
Sure. Question 5. Where can you buy a copy of When the World Sneezed?
All right. So Ivanna and I talked about this earlier, and of course, I shared a little anecdote, but you guys can go ahead and answer that while we catch up with the ladies and ask them to share. So Ivanna, since this question was about your book, why don't you tell us where people can follow you, if they have any questions, what you're up to next, the next big thing that you have coming.
First of all, Mish, really thank you very much for putting this segment together. It really has a holistic point of view to health. And again, with Dr. Jem here, I know you've been in and out, but it's great that you're here to really guide the discussion. So, yeah, so sorry. What was your question, Mish? I said a lot there.
Just what's coming next, how, where they can follow you, if they have any questions, how they can get in touch with you.
Right. So I am on Instagram. You can type up When the World Sneezed, or just my personal Instagram account, Ivanna DT. That's IVANNA. I think my name's on the screen there. DT. I'm usually on Instagram, and you can just if you have questions about the book, health promotion in general, maybe share some resources with you. I'm happy to do that. I am writing my second book, also on health, but a different aspect of health. Still a picture book, because I love it. By the way, just to share with you, just a fun fact, my illustrator, because I did this book from start to finish, from writing to working with the illustrator to even printing, just using my mobile phone on while my son is asleep. So this was my
The
bedtime
mom,
routine.
the mom
So
who does it all. You are amazing. I love, like, who knew? Mommies, yes, if you want to write a book, you can do it on your phone. Just ask Ivana.
yeah, you can ask me. I'm happy to share the tricks of the trade with you. So my illustrator is actually from Ukraine, because I just met her on this app called Fiverr, where all your graphic design freelancers are. So we're still in touch, still through the app. So we're gonna be working on our second book together as well.
Congratulations. I love that you put everything in there for moms like us who want to read these bedtime stories and, of course, have it be meaningful and to really be teaching our kids even during that time when we're bonding and winding them down. Thank you, Ivana. Dr. Jem, where can people find you if they have some questions? Oops, I think she's having technical difficulties.
Hi. Is it for
Yeah.
me?
Yes.
Just wait out for a while. I lost my That's a long period na kanina now. Well, if they have I only hold clinic in Makati Met, just one hospital affiliation. They can find me there Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturdays, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. And if they have like questions na I can just answer, you can just message me in my messenger, Gem Lazaro in FB Messenger.
Fantastic.
Yes.
I love that you are right in Makati Med. Very easy, centrally
Yes.
located. So, guys, if you are looking for a pediatrician, you can go ahead and look Dr. Gem Lazaro up, and of course, you can message her on Messenger. So, Kath, I am excited for everybody to hear where they can get in touch with you. You have so many concepts. So let's start first with Chow Baby, right? Chow Baby Manila, because that actually, for those of us who are pregnant, lactating, or even get, the kids are big already. This is a family episode. So tell us about Chow Baby and then add in all the other things that you have going on, because there's so many beautiful things you do for us in the community.
Okay, because moms are already, all moms are super moms already. So I just wanted to make their lives a little bit easier by making this brand, which is Chow Baby Manila. Okay, you can contact us through Instagram actually to find out more about us. It's at Chow Baby Manila. The number is 0927 036 6661. And then I talk about the other Keto Pesca Keto brands, which is we also have Keto Living PH at Keto Living PH, at Keto Pesca PH, at Keto Vegan PH. We also have, okay, I have a list.
Yes, guys, she's that prolific. She has that many businesses.
Dapat may pinost ka na.
I have a list here, so just in case. Okay, I also have an aesthetic clinic, which is DS Manawe at DS underscore Manawe. I have a restaurant. Okay, it's also in Quezon City. It's at Cantina underscore, and then we also have Better Juice Manila at Better Juice Manila, where
Yeah.
it's a diabetic friendly, everything you can think about, milk tea, everything. It's a diabetic friendly. And then, uh, sorry. Okay, and also of course, keto vegetarian PH.
Yes. Yes.
There.
That many. So for those of you guys who remember December, Kath and DS treated us also to, pampering ourselves during the holidays, and you can follow them as well. Their treatments are delicious. They have drips. You could do your nails. They have facials. They have slimming treatments. There's so many different things that you can avail of when you visit DS as well. So of course, this is not just about Kath, and I love how you've created these different businesses to take care of yourself, but also to take care of the whole family as well. So that definitely for us, this wraps the episode. And, I think we do have a winner. Hey, Maxie, how are you? Hi, Max. Are you all done practicing? Yeah. Oh, let's unmute. There.
Are you done practicing? Yes.
All
yes.
done. What's your favorite thing about jiu-jitsu or
What's your
practicing
favorite
with
thing
your
about-
dad? Hi,
What's your
Izzy.
Submission.
Submissions. Nice.
Not competitive at all. How about Izzy? Izzy, what's your favorite thing when you're practicing with your dad?
What's your favorite thing in jiu-jitsu?
Submissions.
Submissions also. All right. These kids are tough, huh? Little
Yeah,
warriors.
they are. That's awesome. I love it. Is M nearby? We'd love to say hello to M.
I think she stepped up.
Ever supportive wife. And of course, she put together these kits for all of us, all the guests. We have lots of healthy things. We have honey, we have Better Life soap, and of course our own jiu-jitsu, our own Origins merch. And this is like liquid gold, right? Well, not liquid, but solid gold right now, guys. She sent us onions as well. So thank you, Origins, for this, because we know how scarce they are right now. We do have the winner to the fifth question. Let's see. There we do. I am so excited. Guys, for those of you who are interested in still making healthier choices, our next episode that we will have in February will also kind of follow the same lines. We're doing a few themed episodes here where we can take better care of ourselves, make better choices, and just, start the year right by choosing health and wellness and well-being in all different shapes and forms. So we will announce the fifth winner, and then we'll go ahead and say goodbye to everybody. For everyone who is here, TJ, thank you for signing in and letting us all see how lively the dojo is. Ivanna, thank you for also sharing your books and your passion with us. Kath, of course, once again, thank you for your support. All of your brands coming out to support Kitchen 143. And Dr. Jem, we are so glad we got to chat with you. Medyo bitin because we kept getting cut off, but I hope to have you back another time.
Sorry. Yeah, sure.
Okay. All right. So congratulations to, where is that? Glyza Joy Dakumos, who answered correctly with Lazada and Parenting Emporium, which is where you guys can go ahead and get When the World Sneezed for your little ones. So you can talk about different ways that you can be healthy, make healthier choices, and of course, take care of our bodies. See you guys on Feb 7th. We have a whole lineup that will help you make healthier decisions for yourself as well. This is the theme, maybe for the next couple of episodes as well. I'm on a roll here, guys. I want to get healthy too, so we're going to do it together. Thank you, everyone, for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.